Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's News Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangoes of South Florida. And today's date is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. So let us begin. Oh, my friends, thanks for tuning in. Another beautiful evening in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kicking back in my camper and loving it. Yeah, I'll be doing a few things today before I address those articles. Looks like Superintendent Runcie will still keep his position by a vote of 6-3. Was a Broward County school attendant. There's all references to Parkland massacres. And it's very morose, regardless. But there's a lot of, like one person told me who went to the meetings, Runcie could be a nice guy, but he needs to learn to keep his mouth shut in certain areas. I'm pretty critical of the man myself. And everyone assumes it's a race thing and all that, which is completely irrelevant. You guys look at the bonds for the school to make things safe, and didn't really achieve from that particular horrific event. And it's one of those things, my friends. Make things better. Don't be keeping it half-ass. That's what I gotta say to Superintendent Runcie. We don't care how you do it in Chicago. Don't bring it here. And I say that out of love. Alright, well, speaking of some controversies, just browsing through, Twitter and my email accounts. So his one here is very interesting. Came out a little over an hour, almost 2 hours ago. This is by Julie K. Brown from the Miami Herald. It says here, court weighs unsealing records that could reveal new details of Jeffrey Epstein sex abuse. And as it reads here, privacy rights versus press freedoms took center stage Wednesday at an explosive federal appeals court hearing in New York, where lawyers argued to unseal confidential court files that could reveal evidence of an underage sex trafficking operation allegedly run by New York multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein and his partner, British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit reserved judgment in the case, but the panel suggested that it was leaning toward the release to the public of vast portions of the court record. The file in the case, which was settled in 2017, contains more than 1,000 documents, lawyers said during an oral argument led by the Miami Herald, which seeks to open the entire file. Most of the documents, including court orders and motions, were filed under seal or heavily redacted, similar to other cases in New York and Florida involving the wealthy, politically connected money manager. Epstein, now 66, was not a party to the lawsuit, which was filed against Maxwell in 2015 by Virginia Roberts Jeffery, who claimed she was recruited by the pair to perform massages on them when she was 16 and known as Virginia Roberts. Jeffery claims she and other girls were sexually abused and pimped out to a number of wealthy, influential people from 1999 to 2002. As it reads here, the Herald said that while some redactions of personal information, including the names of the other possible underage victims, are appropriate, the blanket sealing of the case violates the First Amendment, which grants citizens a presumptive right of access to court records, except in the rarest of circumstances. The Herald's lawyer Sanford Borer told the three-judge appeals court panel that the case should be unsealed in its entirety because the law provides the public with access in order to hold legal institutions accountable and to maintain confidence that they will protect the most vulnerable in society. The two other parties to the appeal, attorney Harvard lawyer Alan Dershowitz, a conservative social media blogger, and conservative media blogger Michael Kernovich, also argued to unseal the entire case files. Dershowitz's lawyer Andrew G. Sicily Jr. wanted the court to release 3 documents immediately, saying they were necessary to exonerate his client, who has been accused of being involved in Epstein's crimes. Dershowitz, 81, was among a team of lawyers who represented Epstein when he came under a criminal investigation in Palm Beach in 2005. Epstein was accused by more than 36 girls, most of them 13 to 16, of luring them to his mansion to give him massages, and turned into sex acts. He then used those same girls to recruit more girls over a period of several years, court and police records show. In 2008, Epstein received an unusually lenient plea deal that gave him an untold number of others who are not cited by name immunity from federal prosecution. That plea deal was brokered under former Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, who is currently President Donald Trump's Secretary of Labor. Wow. I will continue on here. Acosta's handling of the case is now under investigation by the Justice Department. Last week, a federal judge ruled that their agreement was illegal because Acosta and other prosecutors failed to inform Epstein's victims about the deal in violation of the Crime Victims' Rights Act. Maxwell, the daughter of the late British publishing baron Robert Maxwell, has never been charged and has denied that she was involved in any crimes. Dershowitz has disputed allegations that he was involved. He maintained the court record in the case contains evidence that Jeffery was writing manuscript at the time she publicly accused him of having sex with her when she was underage. Prior to the hearing, Dershowitz's attorney has suggested that the appeals panel might want to allow him to present part of his argument outside the presence of opposing lawyers, the news media, and the public. Judges did not grant or even address a suggestion made in a letter to the court. After the hearing, Dershowitz held a news conference calling for a federal criminal investigation into Jeffery and her lawyers, calling them liars. The spectacle continued outside the Manhattan courthouse, with Dershowitz claiming that Jeffery and her lawyer, David Boyes, conspired to lie about him for financial gain. The case at the heart of Wednesday's appeal is a defamation claim. Jeffrey's lawyer, Sigrid McCauley, told the Herald that the case was settled in her client's favor in 2017. The amount for the settlement was confidential. Kernovich's lawyer, Mark Randanza, pointed out that the file contains pages and pages of blacked out paragraphs. I expected this from a Freedom of Information Act requested to the CIA, he quipped to the judges during the hearing. Ty G., a Denver lawyer representing Ghislaine Maxwell, however, argued that nothing in the case should be made public, since several witnesses provided statements during litigation under the presumption that they would be kept confidential. He explained that the district court judge who presided over the case, Robert W. Sweet, was overwhelmed because he was bombarded by attorneys with requests to seal document after document, to the point where all parties simply agreed to seal nearly everything to move the case along. Barr, however, said that isn't the way the court system should work. The judge abdicated his role as a judge, Barr said, adding that each request should have been considered individually, given that transparency is generally in the public's interest. Barr suggested that the appeals court assign a district court judge to oversee a process to consider the release of documents, a suggestion that the panel seemed to agree on. Circuit Court Judge Jose A. Cabranes asked G. whether he would agree to release any documents now that the case is settled. G. said nothing should be made public. You can't possibly be serious, Cabranes responded in disbelief. Part of the record contains details about Maxwell's sex life and would be a violation of her privacy to unseal those documents since they involve consenting adults, G said. Lawyer Paul Castle, who represents Jeffery, said his client wants the entire record unsealed that the public knows the full extent of Epstein's and Maxwell's sex trafficking operation. In one of the more unusual arguments in the case, Castle said Kernovich was a self-described slut-shamer who was working in concert with Dershowitz to discredit his client, who now lives in Australia. That description later prompted Judge Rosemary S. Pooler to jokingly ask Dershowitz's lawyer whether his client was part of the slut-shaming cabal. Sally said Dershowitz has enduring more than 2 years of ridicule over the allegations by Jeffery, which were largely made in court documents that are privileged, that is shielded from a defamation claim. Dershowitz has publicly baited her to accuse him in public so he can sue her for slander. Oh, yeah. And there's a little article here as well about the story behind Palm Beach sex offender's remarkable deal. Interesting indeed. It'd be more of a cloak and daggering adventure. And one of those areas you got to look at, too, the whole sex trafficking, human trafficking, etc., is that Jeffrey Epstein was real lenient. If for someone like you and I, they'll throw the damn book at us, lock us in the cell, throw away the key until we rot. It really boggles the mind, my friends. But one thing we know for sure, if they open up these documents to the fullest, it's going to be hell to pay. Blowback, one way or the other. And hey, I'm not crazy about these individuals at all. Some of the politicians and so forth. Even talking about Bill Clinton was involved was one of his clients for Jeffrey Epstein. Some islands, somewhere out in the Bahamas, supposedly, were out there. Well, I say this, based on all the merits, if they open it up, let it be. Expect some redaction, but it's the start. Time to expose these individuals for who they are. Very demoniac to the core. All right. So, next one here, my friends. This one here was interesting from Activist Post. Came out yesterday, I believe, right? The 5th? Yeah, it's the 5th. It says here, Blood Money. Meet the top 20 companies profiting from endless wars. From Elias Marat. Military spending is growing around the world, and in 2017 it increased by 1.1%, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. U.S. summer expenditures rose by $9.6 billion, driving the global rise and further consolidating the status of the United States as the world's top spender on the military by far. U.S. spending on war is rooted in post-World War II new Pentagon capitalism that eventually became known as the military-industrial complex. The model revolutionized by then Army Chief of Staff and later President Dwight D. Eisenhower ensured that the United States scientific research, technological, industrial capacity would become organic parts of the military structure in conditions of national emergency, effectively giving the civilian economy a dual-use purpose. The model eventually gave birth to the sprawling military-civilian economic base, or military-industrial complex, that Eisenhower famously criticized in his 1961 farewell address to the nation. Civilian industry, science, and academia were used alongside an exorbitant and perpetually expanding war budget to underwrite the Defense Department's never-ending state of conflict with Cold War enemies, making the world safe for the unchallenged reign of the United States while priming the U.S. economy whenever additional surges of military Keynesian spending by Washington was required. The beneficiary of the model has been the U.S. defense industry. The U.S. is now home to 5 of the world's top 10 large military contractors, with U.S.-based companies accounting for 57% of total arms sales by the top of the 100 defense contractors worldwide, according to Jeffery data analyzed by the USA Today. Companies such as Lockheed Martin, which made $44.9 billion in arms sales in 2017, enjoy the revenue from the U.S. government alone that totals more than the combined annual budgets of the Internal Revenue Service and the Environmental Protection Agency. Meanwhile, a number of other companies around the globe have raked in handsome profits from the global trade in arms, many of which are used to commit horrific atrocities and crimes against humanity in such battlegrounds as Yemen. According to a new analysis of Jeffery data by 24/7 Wall Street, the following companies made the most money from government's addiction to war spending and demand for arms in conflict zones all over the world. 20. Dextrin. Country, United States. Arms sales, $4.1 billion. Total sales, $14.2 billion. Profit, $1.2 billion. Main products, armored vehicles, unmanned aircraft, and attack helicopters. Naval Group, which is from France, $4.1 billion. Total sales, $4.2 billion. Profit, $36.5 million. Main products, naval defense systems, warships, and submarines. 18. Leidos, country, United States. Arms sales, $4.4 billion. Total sales, $10.2 billion. Profit, $242 million. Main products, IT infrastructure, data analytics, cybersecurity, logistics, surveillance vehicle, and equipment development and maintenance. 17. Rolls-Royce. Ooh, those big fancy cars out there. From United Kingdom, arms sales, $4.4 billion. Total sales, $19.3 billion. Profit, $5.3 billion. Main products, defense, aerospace, marine, and nuclear power systems, including engines for aircraft like the C-130 Hercules, T-45 Ghost Hawk, and Japanese military V-22 Osprey fleet. 16. Honeywell International. Country, United States. Arms sales, $4.5 billion. Total sales, $40.5 billion. Profit, $1.7 billion. Main products, long-range weapon systems, operating systems for unmanned aerial vehicles, and missile navigation systems. Chinook helicopter T-55 engines, maintenance, and miscellaneous services. 15. United Shipbuilding Corp. Country, Russia. Arms sales, $5 billion. Total sales, $5.6 billion. Profit, $101 million. Main products, shipbuilding, repair, and maintenance facilities across the Russian Federation. And what's the other one here? 14. United Aircraft Corp. Country, Russia. Arms sales, $6.4 billion. Total sales, $7.7 billion. Profit, $325.3 million. Main products, the MiGs, Sukhoi, and Yak fighter jets. 13. Huntington Ingalls Industries. Country, United States. Arms sales, $6.5 billion. Total sales, $7.4 billion. Profit, $479 million. Main products, nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and submarines, surface combatants, amphibious assault and transport vehicles, and Coast Guard cutters. 12. L3 Technologies. Country, United States. Arms sales, $7.8 billion. Total sales, $9.8 billion. Profit, $693 million. Main products, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance products and services. Communications, technology, used top U.S. drones such as the Predator and Global Hawk. Power distribution and communication technology used by the U.S. Navy's Virginia-class submarine. 11. United Technologies Corp. Country, United States. Arms sales, $7.8 billion. Total sales, $59.9 billion. Profit, $4.9 billion. Main products, advanced systems for military helicopters such as rescue hoists, autopilot systems, laser-guided weapon warning systems, engines used by military aircraft and 34 militaries worldwide, including the latest U.S. jets. 10. Almaz Anti. Country, Russia. Arms sales, $8.6 billion. Total sales, $9.1 billion. Profit $422.6 million. Main products: surf-to-air missile systems. 9. Leonardo. Country: Italy. Arms sales $8.9 billion. Total sales $13 billion. Profit $310.3 million. Main products: land and naval electronics, information systems, helicopters, jet aircraft, and unmanned aerial vehicles, torpedoes and ammunition, weapon systems. 8. Sales. Country: France. Arms sales $9 billion. Total sales $17.8 billion. Profit $931.1 million. Main products: land, air, sea, and cyber defense products and services, radar systems for missile fire control. I will continue on here. It would be 7. Airbus Group. Country: Trans-European. So it's like the EU here, right? Arms sales $11.3 billion. Total sales $75.2 billion. Profit $3.3 billion. Main products: commercial and private aircraft, Eurofighter Typhoon jet, used in numerous militaries, including the Gulf Arab states, cybersecurity, secure communication devices, A400M and C295 transport aircraft. 6. General Dynamics Corp., United States. Arms sales $19.5 billion. Total sales $31 billion. Profit $2.9 billion. Main products: warships such as Arleigh Burke-class destroyer and Zumwalt-class guide missile destroyer. Submarines, including the Columbia-class sub, the latest U.S. Army Abrams tank. Communications, cybersecurity systems. 5. Northrop Grumman Corp., United States. Arms sales $22.4 billion. Total sales $25.8 billion. Profit $2 billion. Main products: fighter jets, including the B-2 stealth bomber and F-35. Maintenance for U.S. strategic fleets and communication system. 4. BAE Systems, which is BAE, United Kingdom. Arms sales $22.9 billion. Total sales $23.5 billion. Profit $1.1 billion. Main products: ground combat vehicles such as the Challenger 2, fighter jets including the Typhoon and F-35. 3. Raven, United States. Arms sales $23.9 billion. Total sales $25.3 billion. Profit $2 billion. Main products: air to surface, surface to air, and surface to surface, precision guided missiles, bombs and torpedoes, tactical small arms sights. 2. Boeing, United States. $26.9 billion. Total sales $93.4 billion. Profit $8.2 billion. Main products: civilian craft such as the 737, 747, 767, 777, and the 787 families. KC-46 refueling aircraft, P-8 Poseidon aircraft, F-15 fighters, Apache helicopters. Number 1, Lockheed Martin Corp., United States. $44.9 billion. Total sales $51 billion. Profit $2 billion. Main products: F-16, F-22, and F-35 fighters, sonar technologies, ship missile defense systems, and missile used by the Navy. The article was sourced from the Maine Unleashed. Interesting. God bless the military-industrial complex, right? Yeah, we know that game. We should all put our hands in our hearts and go, God bless the MIC. Without it, we wouldn't be free. When we attack other countries, it's exceptional. When they attack us, it's tyranny. It's evil, wicked. We must live in fear. Give up our freedoms for security. You know how that goes. Yes. So, one thing I said, my friends, part of the imperialism, New World Order agenda. And that is the truth. So, folks, pay attention, be vigilant, and share this information throughout your social media networks. All right, so we're going to do one more here for you, my friends. And here, one moment. I got this on my phone. So, I don't have Wi-Fi. That's okay. Always know how to wing it, man. And this one here came from the site thetruthaboutguns.com. And actually came out today. Let me find out here. Oh, wow. What? Wait a minute. Right there, boom. Boom, there you go. Now I got it. Hit the wrong button here. Yeah, truthaboutguns.com, and it came out, was it? Yesterday, yeah. It begins! Nikki Fry turning Florida concealed weapon permit system into a bureaucratic nightmare. It says here, Florida's newly elected Democratic Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Nikki Fry, oversees the issuance of concealed carry permits in the state. During her campaign, she vowed to use her office to crack down on guns in every way possible. I figured that meant that she'd accomplish that through creative interpretation and application of the laws concerning concealed carry in the Sunshine State. Since taking office, she added some time well-known anti-gun individuals to her staff, folks like Fred Guttenberger and Mary Barise Flores. Yes, the slave masturbators, or mistresses. And I say that out of plurality. I will proceed here. Now, a fellow Florida gun owner I know who wishes to remain anonymous is facing some of the first effects of Fry's anti-gun jihad, and he isn't alone. My friend received a certified letter from the commissioner's office stating that his concealed weapons permit had been indefinitely suspended. The AG department claimed this was because he had an injunction restraining order filed against him in the Nassau County in 2003. The only problem with that is that it never happened. Yes, hi, I'm a bureaucrat. I am the part of the Secretary of Agriculture, and I'm going to do things my way or the highway, and kind of, sort of means it's a yes. So I will continue on here. There's the documents on this as well. He called the Nassau County Clerk's office to confirm that he had no record of any injunction issued against him. That he went to the local Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services office to explain and see if he can get the situation resolved. Instead of listening and verifying the information he provided, they simply confiscated his carry permit. How conglomerate! Yay! They told him he had to go to the clerk of court's office and get a court-certified letter stating that he had no record of any injunction issued against him. Then he'd get his permit back. That's correct. The state agencies demand that a citizen prove his innocence so he can exercise a constitutional right. Can we say self-incriminating? This individual has been the concealed weapons permit holder in Florida for 12 years. He originally applied in 2007 and renewed it in 2017. Both times he was approved via the state's background screening process. He also is a firearms license holder and passed BATFE's background check process in 2008. I called it very half-assed indeed. Not for this gentleman, but the bureaucratic douchebags across the board. My friend called the clerk of court's office, explained again that they have no record of any injunction being filed against him. Furthermore, he was never served with papers that to effect. There is no record of return of service or return of writ in their database, which means that no injunction was filed against him without him being served. His permit was pulled by Fry's office to fulfill a campaign promise. The last agricultural commercial Adam Putnam had a problem resulting in 291 permits mistakenly issued to people who didn't qualify. That's out of 1.9 million total. Fry and state Democrats seized on the issue, campaigning heavily on the need to go over everyone's record with a fine-tooth comb. Oh yeah, government, government. Nikki Fry, can I wipe my own rear end, please? I want to be a privilege. I want you to tell me when can I wipe my own rear end, please? Come on, folks. Never mind the fact that 291 of 1.9 million is basically a rounding error. I had a better chance of winning the lottery and getting struck by lightning at the same time. But the error provided the perfect excuse, and she is using it as her reason to push gun control from her position. Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! Sieg Heil! My friend got the certified letter from the clerk of court office on March 4th stating that there is no record of such injunction filed against him. He had proof he was told he needed to verify his innocence, and he delivered it to the AG department. He should then have gotten his permit back. Did they return it? No. Instead, they told him this. Thank you for returning the required paperwork. We're going to have this sent off to Tallahassee for verification and filing. We'll send you a letter in 3 to 4 weeks to let you know when you can come back to pick up your permit. And remember, that's like government knows best. I know more than you. My friend, now he has to wait as much as a month because of the AG department's error. Oh, if we screw up, that's okay, but if you make a mistake, you're in big trouble. Talk about hypocrisy to the core and a semi-form of a police state. How did they determine that a non-existent restraining order had been filed against him? We may never know, but my friend wasn't the only concealed weapon permit holder to have his ticket pulled. He told me, on the way out, I walked by a guy who was lost and looking for the CWP office, gave him directions. He had a certified letter in his hand too. Poor guy. We live in an age of instantaneous communication across the globe, and yet the Department of Agriculture and the Consumer Services is saying that they'll need 3 to 4 weeks to verify the certified letter my friend handed them. And they'll need to do it from Tallahassee. Apparently having a local office pick up a phone to call the clerk of court or using the information, the Florida Comprehensive Case Information System, or the Public Clerk of Courts database is utterly beyond their bureaucratic capabilities. Or maybe that is exactly the way the new commissioner wants these cases handled, because a right delay is a right denied. Fried appeared to be using regulatory stagnation in order to accomplish her goals. She's turning a smooth-running machine into a bureaucratic nightmare, making people jump through hoops in order to retain their right to keep and bear arms. Election have consequences. Well, one of the things I have to disagree with this writer in this article, and I say that in good faith to Luis Valdez, a permit is a privilege. Concealed weapons permit is a privilege. Right to keep and bear arms is a natural right. And I did a show on this as well about the concealed weapons permit program. Does it violate that Declaration of Rights under the Florida Constitution? You could look it in there in my past archives, and I put on all the facts to this particular matter. And what she's doing is considered impeachable. She officially broke her oath of office. That's how I look at bureaucracy, my friends. You have the basic right to carry under Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution. Look it up. It's self-explanatory. And don't let these cockroaches like Miss Fried tell you any different and her pathetic, treasonous lackeys. The question I have for her and her cohorts, are they armed? Are their bodyguards armed? How about you just disarm yourselves? You love it when you love to be the slave mistresses, the slave masturbators, right? I believe so. Well, one thing for sure, folks, it's a natural right. She's an oath breaker, including her lackeys, whether they're elected or appointed. Remember, they're registered voters, so they already breached their oath in that position as well. In addition, anyone that gets their definitely suspend their permit without any merit. I don't know if you could do this, but I'll take a shot. Title 42, U.S. Code, Section 1983. Be compensated because they violate your constitutional rights. All right? You can use the second, you can use the ninth, but definitely use Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution. Deep down inside, they know I'm right. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us on social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or if you see something that's interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondences with decorum. Furthermore, I will leave all the footnotes on my Spreaker page, including my contacts, social media, and email addresses. All right, my friends, once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.